when empowered women get discarded by avoidant men or dysfunctional men, but also a person, okay? They will not have a heartbroken shame button that says, I did something wrong. Empowerment is only going to be available to a woman if they have their 0 1 year old, they're attached panicky, they're 3 to 7, they're shame submissive. These are child parts, they're charged parts. They're freeze of all ages. They're flight 11, 12, and they're fight 14, 15, 16 in their peripheral view. Those are charged parts that for a 5D mystic, enlightenment, functional adult, woo-woo, pseudoscience, solo polyamory woman here, all visible, thank you, attachment trauma, researchers, therapists that I get to keep learning about all of what to support people on a personal development journey to be their self. So I come with my story today, though, and always. The stories are because I'm already living the infinite higher human conscious potential experience, and I've been being myself since I was a child. Thank you, Mom. So my whole 3-year-old heart is here to share with you. As a teenager, I did get called cold, selfish, and protective, as I was a person who knew exactly how to be my best lawyer. So people who don't know how to be their best lawyer, their inner child best lawyer, they go to people that are called therapists, like Patrick Tiahan, childhood trauma survivor, healed and healing. He talks all about how to reparent yourself and not project. I talk all about how we, the secure attachment, differentiated self, whole 3-year-old heart, doesn't harbor resentment or revenge or envy or jealousy or spite because we consistently maintain our alignment with our heart body and value body, our energy, mental, and physical, the emotional, without any yoga. No, I have Jesus in my back pocket and God that already had given me everything that I needed to know how to love unconditionally. You're a human and I'm a human. I'm a Pacham. So I knew you have a heart and I have a heart. The minute that your heart is doing whatever it is your body has told your heart to do, I'm not going to come and do anything. It's your body, not mine. That's what I told my mom at 3. It's my body. You can't spank it. So you can only imagine I gave the same respect to men in general, meaning if you don't want to share your feelings or hear mine, it's okay. But I won't be silent about it. Again, I make the best lawyer. Yes, as a teenager, I was definitely a teenager and I did not shut up. And that's where we're going to get in a minute. So we maintain all that we are and we don't lose that innocence. It's also not hard to love or to be in a committed relationship. So when I see empowered women who are codependent, they're also bad examples for other women, meaning the younger women. I am here to speak up, at least as a woman, I know I can. Obviously, to me, any person who's securely attached with their differentiated self will join on in the IHP community. They'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So what I learned as a teenager is that confidence is not appreciated by those who fear anything and everything when it comes to just talking. Like seriously, I have no words for it. Let me use first the data points that I wanted to use to share with you all. Okay, so what does it look like to have healthy self-worth? It looks like this. So when we meet people who are dysfunctional, so they bring dysfunction your way, meaning their unfinished business, it's their unhealed trauma and their adaptive child. But see, it's maladaptive as a grown-up because it's not protective anymore. Now you're playing out your 0 1 year old attached panicky, your 3 to 7 shame submissive and all those charges. You have low self-esteem, which is going to be present with your indirect communication, your passive aggressive mannerisms, your complete disconnect most likely from what I'm speaking because your left mode is what's on. In your right mode, you're not bothering to tend to your emotions and be a pacha. You're being a Cusco or squirrel or an Ursula or an Yzma or Elsa on her journey who doesn't figure out she has a 3-year-old. So she waits till the end of the journey. Okay, so when you have people who don't want to go to people like Patrick Tiahan, a good therapist, or people who have gone, but then they say, I don't want to do personal development anymore. I want life now. You see the emotional laziness, which is called cowardice by a lovely therapist. So I'm going to use the word too, because see, as a teenager, I called all those teenagers that lied to me in my face cowards, because the only reason you would lie is if you're afraid, which means you're a coward. I'm not afraid of telling you anything. And I'm 4'9", so I do have to be careful though of getting beat up, which apparently as a teenager, all these kids did want to beat me up, but I was being protected according to my mother's story, is my twin sister, because I was not about to do anything that the teenagers stupidly were continuing to do. And in fact, I told them all, I will tell on you. I don't care. Call me a tattletale. I'm okay with that. I know who I'm going to go if you touch me. Just try it and let's see what happens. So that's what happens when you don't give a shit about being cool, anyone, or trying to fit in, because, again, my brain did learn the left and the right from my lovely 11 to about 15. All those teenagers, backstabbers, unreliable, everything. But there's one thing you don't do when you are a healthy self-worth person. It's to do this thing called misanthropy, and also to harbor trust breaks and attachment wounds, which is what others do. I don't trust humanity. So misanthropy, hatred, dislike, or distrust for humankind. I'm a human. I love humanity. And everybody else can walk like Jesus walked and Buddha walked and like Sadhguru walks. This is where enlightenment the human way, you can access it. It's called your restorative embodied self, though. So first of all, having a good embodied self-awareness of your body and mind. There's your divine masculine feminine, which the 4D doesn't know about. So the mind and the body. But you can only be friends with your left and right mode if you have a window of welcome for the emotions that come up. Most people, they like to project it at you. So when you have a basic secure attachment teenager who doesn't move out of their teenager attitude, you're going to still get to deal with the Cusco. When you have a person who has attachment wounds, unfortunately, they have it even worse. So they're going to bring to you the discard. Let's talk about what happens when we get discarded by the emotionally unavailable men, who basically are either avoidant attachment, or they're going to be the avoidant fearful attachment, because they shut down. Okay, so one, empowered woman, we don't have. My biggest priority is one human being in life. No, that's not empowerment. Or I gave up all of these years, my life, so I'm not going to be anywhere near a man before or ever again. That's right here, Miss Andry. No, we actually do something different. It's called I love more men. I love more, not less. And then I learn how to deal with the ones who come in and out as they please and don't really care. And no, they do care. They just don't know that they could get better at caring about themselves. And the thing about therapy is that you need to want to do it, like personal development. So what I see is movies like Hangover give a really bad example of what it is to be a grown-up with emotions. As a teenager, I just thought they were all low self-esteem teenagers, and then I grew up and they maintained their low self-esteem teenagers. And now, though I know about unhealed trauma, which I've noticed, though, as Patrick Tiahan points out to his listeners and his followers, a lot of people that hurt people who hurt people, they don't seem to want to do the work. So just remember, if you're talking to somebody who has no desire to be a grown-up version of themselves, leave it alone. It's okay to be called cold, selfish, or protective. So in my case, I am used to it. But the difference is this: I actually don't think of it in any like, oh my gosh, that's so awful, because I have an inner child that is always whole. And so this is the one biggest difference: is somebody who's healing from childhood trauma will have to first reparent themselves. I'm giving you the version of, no, I didn't have to. I learned confidence, thanks mom, and how to stand up and be annoying because I was allowed to be annoying. So that's what happens when you have no trauma charges. You're using your prefrontal cortex and you're actually saying, here, with my now, I'm going to talk to you with my functional adult tone. And so what we do when we get discarded, so if you do a 360 on me, I don't lose hope in men or in women or in theys or in humankind. No, I know. Thanks, Jesus. Forgive them, for they do not know. Thank you, Daniel Siegel. Bilateral integration? No, we got impaired bilateral integration. What we have is an unhealed trauma charge and more that is not wanting to be taken by the person who owns that adaptive child, and to let me go to a good therapist to learn how to become my own safe haven, secure base. Okay, so when men particularly have discarded, if you will, it's not a discard. It's we're incompatible, because that's what healthy self-worth means, is I didn't lose shit. Meaning you didn't touch this. You just let me know that I don't mentally, emotionally, and physically please you, which it's fair and square. You should choose what you want in life. And I know what I want in life. And it's called consistent contingent communication, unconditional love. I love and accept and respect me for who I am. You're going to love and accept and respect me for who I am. And if I can't be myself, cannot, well, then we don't have a tango, do we? So that's why it's not a discard and it's not shipping or traumatic. This is where a lot of people, again, they think all people don't know self-worth. No, some of us, we do. So it's tune in.